Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and this is the first in a series of tutorials I will share on using Cricut Design Space and the Cricut digital cutting machine. In this part of the tutorial, we will focus on a few of the file types that are compatible with Cricut, but we will also mainly focus on using JPEGs, the drawbacks of using a JPEG, and also we'll talk about sizing issues when it comes to Cricut. So let's get started. I am using the new beta version of Cricut Design Space that you can actually download to your computer. Before they had this version that you could download and use on your computer and not actually be online, you would have to go to design.cricut.com and it would give you, once you logged in, you would see a screen similar to this. So this is the artboard, the canvas. I think they call it a canvas. So this is a blank board. This is where you would build your project. Over on the left hand side here, there is an option for a new project, templates, projects, images, text, shapes, and to upload. The Silhouette Studio software is more of a design software. So you can actually create images and designs and shapes easily in Silhouette Studio. For Cricut Design Space, that is not necessarily the case. Most of the time when people use a Cricut, they are importing a graphic from some other software program that they created or that they purchased or that was a freebie, whatever the case may be. You're importing that graphic in. You're not actually building it in Design Space. You can attempt to do that, but it's kind of difficult. You can also purchase images from Design Space. I clicked on image just to show you that you can purchase graphics from here. And then here is the list of the shapes. So as you can see, shapes are very basic. I mean, you could probably make a basic box, half box, quarter box, full box, but it's not going to be that simple to do. So we're not even going to get into that right now. We're going to focus on uploading an image and the types of images that you can upload. The main ones that I use when I am working in Design Space are the new and the upload. So I'm going to go to upload, and you can see where I've been uploading and testing some of my templates. These are the most recent uploads that I've made. So we're going to focus on uploading images, and the images can be JPEG, GIF, PNG, bitmap or BMP, SVG, or DXF files. To make life simple, I suggest that you stick with PNGs and SVGs. For the most part, if you're buying a graphic, you can usually get it as a JPEG, PNG, and SVG. You could even use, and GIFs are usually low resolution, so that means it's probably not going to print clear on a high resolution print. So if you're buying an image, make sure that you're getting a JPEG, PNG, or SVG. So, and I'm going to show you why JPEG is not necessarily the best option. So I'm going to go here and upload. I've clicked on upload image, and I'm going to browse on my computer, and this, I'm going to open this file here. It's a JPEG, and I'm going to show you why it wouldn't work. So first of all, this image is entirely too big to use with your Cricut. You'd probably have to cut this down and just use sections of it at a time. So again, this is a JPEG. Then once I hit the upload, it comes up to this screen to select the image type. And it goes from simple, moderately complex to complex. I suggest that you always choose complex, which is fine detail, blended colors, or low contrast between subjects and background. This image is more challenging to work with. The reason I say that, I have uploaded a black and white image. I thought that was simple. When I click simple, it did not give me the effect that I thought I would get. So even with a simple black and white only graphic, simple does not always convert like you think it would. So go with complex. So I highlighted complex. I'm going to click continue. So then it's going to bring me to this screen where I can select and erase and make adjustments to the graphic. It's enlarged, so first of all I need to reduce it down some so I can see the whole thing. At least I can scroll up and down. So over here on the right hand side you have your zoom in and zoom out. You also have your undo arrow, and I'll have a redo once I do something. And then you have your bar over here where you can slide up and down. I'm not going to make it any smaller because I want you to be able to see what's going to happen. So if I had a JPEG file and all of the pieces in that file, for instance, like all of the stickers in this file had a line around them to break them away from the white background, I could get away with using a JPEG, no problem. But what happens is if you don't have a border separating that graphic from the white background and you have white in your graphic, when you prepare your file to cut, it is going to pull the white out of the area where you don't want it pulled out of. And I'm going to show you. So with a JPEG, there is not a transparent background, and Cricut does not know where to put the cut lines. Cricut will put cut lines around an object that is sitting on a transparent background, but all of these objects are sitting on a white background. So we would need to remove the white background, and it does a fairly good job of doing that. So I'm going to use the select and erase tool. Click on the area of the image you want to remove. Use advanced options below for additional controls. So you can use advanced options to fine tune how you want to select and erase, but in this instance it's not going to matter how much we fine tune it. It is not going to work the way we intend because of this box right here with the dots in it. There's no line around it. There's nothing breaking up this box from the background. So watch and see. So I'm going to use the tool. I've got the tool selected, and I'm just going to click in the white background area. And that just told Design Space to delete the white background, but it deleted everything inside of here. And it also deleted the white inside of these stickers because there was nothing around the edge of it to block or to separate the white background from the white of the highlight in that sticker. So Cricut Design Space doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know that that little strip of white right here was part of a graphic. All it was trying to do was get everything in the continuous white background, and that looked like it was part of the continuous white background. Now you see here with these appointment boxes here, that didn't happen because there's a black line around them. And I always used to wonder, why does everybody put a black line or, a line, outline everything? That's one reason why I think they do that, because it keeps the software, if you need to remove the background, it lets your software remove the background without interfering with the graphic. So that is the drawback of using a JPEG. A JPEG is perfectly fine. You can use it if you can find one that you can use and remove the background without running into issues like that, then it's a great choice. As you can see right here, down here, there was a striped background behind this. Again, thought that this white stripe that was here was part of the continuous background. It removed it. It removed the outer edge dots from this graphic, from this full box. So I hope that makes sense. And again, if you need to use a JPEG, you can, but I think a ping would be the best alternative if everything shows well when you import it into Design Space. So let's continue. I'm going to keep using this one just to show you. So in this next step, even though we're missing part of our stickers, I'm just going to keep going with it just to show you what the process is. When you continue from the previous step, you come here where you can name and tag your image. It also gives you the option to save as a print then cut image or save as a cut image. To pop in here, this is editing me, and let you know that what you see on the right hand side in the grayed out area, that is actually where your cuts will be. So everything outside around the edge of the gray area, that's where your Cricut will cut. It's a perfect example is where the dots are. That sticker would not cut right. It would actually cut all the dots and not cut the rectangular shape. And also, if you look closely, the page flag where the gold was split, it also would cut those page flags incorrectly. So the black line around the gray area, I'm not sure if you can see the black, but the black line around the gray area is where your blade would actually cut the sticker. Back to the tutorial. For making your stickers, if you have a graphic and you want to print it and cut it to use as stickers, then absolutely you need to choose save as print then cut image. If you had like a JPG template or something that you downloaded from Pinterest, say, and it was an outline and you could remove the background, and then you didn't need to print it, you just needed to cut it. This is what save as cut image would be for. But for stickers, we need save as a print then cut image. Then over here, you can name your image and put some tags in so that if you have a lot of images and you have to search for what you're looking for, it'll be easy for you to find it. So you tag it just like you do an Instagram post or a Facebook post or on Twitter. You use tags the same way. Relevant tags, so that will help you when you're searching for your graphic. So after you've added your file name and your keywords, then you can just click save. And you'll go back to the first screen we were at when we did the initial upload. So once you've imported the image, you've told it you want to use it as a print then cut, it'll bring you back to this screen where you have your recently uploaded images, and you should see your new image right here on the left hand side. And if you click on the little eye, it gives you info about the image, your file name. I think this is a number that Cricut assigns to your image, and then it also has the option to delete it if you don't need it. So let's switch it back. Okay, so we're gonna go with this. So I'm gonna highlight it. It puts a little green border around it so that I know that it's highlighted. Then when I come over here to the right hand side, it says insert images. So I've only selected this one. I think you can select more than one. Yes, you can, but we only want one. And insert images. And Cricut is a little bit slow. Okay. So we have our graphic in here. Over here is our layers palette, and if we had multiple layers, it would show every single layer, but we do not. This is also the wrong size. This is another thing with Cricut. For some reason, I think it doesn't do it with SVG, but for any other file, it imports the file at a completely different size than what the file is. And even though this file was designed at 8.5 by 11, there was a border around it, remember, that we just removed. So I can't even go up here to the size and put 8.5 by 11 because it's no longer that size. So usually when you get a file that is specifically for use with a Cricut, they will give you some sizes. And that is where those sizes or measurements come into play. I'm going to put 7.5. And you see this little lock right here? It will lock the proportion so that you won't stretch your image too wide or too tall. It'll stay in proportion. So if you know one dimension, so if we knew for a fact that the width of this was supposed to be 7.5, then we could just put 7.5 here, and it would automatically adjust the whole thing and keep it in proportion. It wouldn't stretch it out like, I can't do it. I have to unlock it to do it. So this locks the graphic, this unlocks it. Lower left hand corner. Lock, unlock. We want to keep it locked, but I just want to show you an example. If it's unlocked, then it's going to let me stretch it out like this. That's not right. Or it'll let me stretch it like that. You should never do that. It should always be in proportion. So let me lock that back. Yes, locked. Okay. So again, I guesstimated what it should be. It's probably not right, but we're going to assume it's correct and that those were the measurements that I was given. So now everything looks good. I'm ready to print and cut. So I'm going to go over here and say make it. Okay. So this says project incompatible. This project is not supported by your current machine selections. To resolve, select OK and adjust affected layers. Okay. So if you see, notice there's a triangle right here. So I'm clicking, that's an error message. Just let me know something's wrong. This is not supported by Explorer. Image too large. Reduce image size to 6.75 by 9.25 or less. That is the catch. When you are using graphics that you upload into Cricut and you want to print and cut, everything has to fit within 6.75 inches by 9.25. Even though it will print on 8.5 by 11, it needs to be less than 6.75 by 9.25. You might want to write that down and be aware of it whenever you are adding graphics to the canvas. I would have to take this to another graphics editing software, divide it in half or reduce the size, and then bring it back over here in maybe 4 pieces to use it. So I can't go any further with this. It won't let me print and cut. So what we've learned is you have to be careful with JPEG images. They need to have a border around the live image area. That's the part that you want to print as is and cut out, the live image area. And we've also learned that the graphic has to be under a certain size. We learned the maximum size that you are able to print and cut using Cricut Design Space. I think we will stop right there as we've learned what we can and cannot do with a JPEG. The next video will be about using a ping. So we will learn about those in the next part of this series of tutorials on the Cricut. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little gray bell so that you'll receive notification each time I upload a new video. Be sure to check the community tab and my stories for updates throughout the week. Also check us out over at patreon.com/Scrapcraftastic. Visit my other channel, Journal Life's Journey, for live craft videos, junk journals, and weekly vlogs. Connect with me across social media at Scrapcraftastic. Also, please join us in the Scrapcraftastic Facebook group where you are welcome to ask questions about Cricut and Silhouette. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.